In 1985, Coca-Cola made a decision that nearly destroyed the most beloved brand in America by killing its own secret formula. 99 years old, untouched by 2 world wars, a depression, and 100 competitors. Then, in one afternoon, it was just gone. Coca-Cola wasn't just a soda. It was American identity in a bottle, sold in over 100 countries, recognized almost everywhere on Earth. For generations, the formula stayed locked in a vault, guarded like a state secret. Coca-Cola wasn't selling a drink, it was selling nostalgia. But behind the iconic red logo, something was quietly going wrong. Coca-Cola was losing. Pepsi had a weapon, the Pepsi Challenge. Blind taste tests right on the street, cameras rolling. Again and again, ordinary people picked the sweeter Pepsi over classic Coke, and the ads aired on national television. For the first time ever, Pepsi's market share started catching up to Coca-Cola's, grocery shelf by grocery shelf. Inside Coca-Cola's Atlanta headquarters, panic set in. Executives watched decades of dominance slip through their fingers. Something had to change. The only question left was how far they were willing to go. CEO Roberto Goizueta ordered a secret operation, its code name, Project Kansas. Scientists spent 2 years and $4 million quietly cooking up something sweeter, smoother, and completely new. They tested it on nearly 200,000 people in blind taste tests across the country, and the new formula won. On paper, it was a triumph. People preferred the new, sweeter taste, even over Pepsi itself. But there was one question nobody in the lab ever thought to ask. What happens if you take the old formula away completely? Coca-Cola wasn't planning to sell new Coke alongside the original. They were going to replace it, forever. April 23rd, 1985. Coca-Cola called a press conference in New York and announced the unthinkable. After 99 years, the original Coca-Cola formula was being discontinued, replaced permanently by new Coke. Goizueta called it the surest move the company had ever made. Coca-Cola was betting its entire identity on a taste test. For about a week, nothing happened. Then the phone started ringing. Coca-Cola had set up a hotline for feedback. They expected a few hundred calls a day. They got 8,000 calls a day, furious, heartbroken, and often screaming. One caller said it felt like losing an old friend. Another compared it to burning the American flag. A retired Seattle businessman named Gay Mullins founded a protest group, the Old Cola Drinkers of America. He filed a class action lawsuit demanding Coca-Cola bring back the real thing or hand the secret formula over to the public. Letters poured into headquarters, some addressed simply to Chief Dodo, Coca-Cola Company, Atlanta. They still got delivered. People began hoarding the old formula. Cases of original Coke got hidden in garages and basements like gold. One wine merchant in California reportedly bought up 500 cases just to resell the original at a premium. Late-night hosts and cartoonists had a field day. New Coke became the punchline of the decade. Even years later, comedians would still bring it up as the textbook case of a company losing its mind. Coca-Cola's stock dipped. Bottlers, the local companies that actually filled the cans, began openly revolting. In Beverly Hills, one bottler filed his own lawsuit, arguing New Coke betrayed the contracts built around the original taste. By July, 10 weeks after launch, Coca-Cola was still fielding over 1,500 angry calls every single day, and losing. Internally, some executives even wondered if the uproar was secretly brilliant marketing. It wasn't, it was real. Roberto Goizueta later admitted he'd underestimated one thing completely: the emotional bond people had with a 99-year-old can of sugar water. The company that built its whole empire on emotion had somehow forgotten its own lesson. 79 days. That's how long the rebellion lasted before Coca-Cola finally cracked. On July 11, 1985, the company called another press conference, this time to surrender. They announced the return of the original recipe under a brand new name, Coca-Cola Classic. News anchors interrupted regular programming to report it. Some networks treated it as breaking national news. The switchboard lit up again, but this time with relief and celebration instead of rage. One network even cut into a soap opera to deliver the announcement. That's how big this had become. Within weeks, Coca-Cola Classic sales soared past even pre-crisis numbers. The brand hadn't just survived, it came back stronger. Critics started asking an uncomfortable question. Had Coca-Cola somehow stumbled into the greatest marketing stunt in history by accident? Goizueta always denied it was planned. "We are not that dumb," he said, "and we are not that smart." But whether by disaster or by design, the Backlash did something no ad campaign ever could. It reminded a whole country how much it loved Coca-Cola. New Coke didn't disappear overnight. It lingered on shelves for years, quietly renamed Coke 2, sold in dwindling numbers nobody really wanted. By the early 2000s, it vanished from shelves for good, a quiet ending to what was once the costliest product decision in the industry's history. Business schools still teach the New Coke story, not as a failure, but as a warning about what a taste test can never measure. A blind sip test measures sweetness. It can't measure memory, ritual, or the feeling of cracking one open on a hot summer day. Coca-Cola had accidentally proven its biggest asset was never the formula locked in the vault. It was the feeling in the customer's chest. Coca-Cola Classic, later renamed simply Coca-Cola again, remains one of the most recognized brands on the planet. The lesson was never really about soda. It was about the difference between a product and a brand. A product can be tested, tweaked, and improved in a lab. A brand lives in memory, and memory doesn't like being told it's wrong. New Coke remains the most expensive reminder in corporate history that being better is never quite the same as being loved. If this story of corporate chaos hooked you, subscribe. There are plenty more of history's biggest brand disasters still to tell.